up doing all of that too. This is not why I got married.
Do you feel like everything's equal with me cooking and you cleaning?
Yes and no. Yes, because when you cook, no on, it's like, it's so many dishes.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You already know what time it is. Thank you Sumo for sponsoring me. Okay, not yet. Gonna go into. See that? Let's get into the video. Are you mad, you lean and get. Listen, like, share, subscribe, and let's get into this video. Boom! This was such an interesting episode, and I'll tell you why. Because we got to see a different aspect of Keith. Some that I liked, some that I didn't like. Stuff that I felt sorry for, stuff I just felt like, rah, let's just nip it in the bud. But let's start from the beginning. Okay. So, you know, we first started off with him talking to Christine on the sofa. And what I deeped, obviously, that, you know, his dad issues are very deep. And obviously, because his dad hasn't had much of a relationship with his dad, we now understand why he was with his mum and his grandma. Yeah, we kind of got that from another episode anyway, but it's just confirmation of the fact that he spent a lot of time with his mum and his grandma, and therefore grew up around women, as he's always said. But we've got the added complexity of the fact that his father wasn't very much in his life, and that plays on somebody's mind. What does that do to a psyche of an individual? What does that do to a man?
Growing up, I never knew why my mom and dad weren't together, but my dad was pretty crazy back then. Drinking too much or smoking too much. It was just rough all the time.
A man who hasn't got another man in his life as a father sometimes can lack the masculine input in terms of being a man. And so therefore there's certain things that he may not be privy to in terms of action and behavior. And I think it's very key because he mentioned something which is so important. He mentioned the fact that obviously his dad gets a bit drunky, a bit aggy, a bit angry. And so I feel like that he intentionally, consciously, or even subconsciously, you're going to call it that, actually goes the other way. He never gets angry. So you see Keith, like, even when the situation with that, remember I was saying about the phone situation and how man was remaining too calm. I was saying to you, like, that don't make sense for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're too calm about the situation. You've got to be able to be reactionary. Like, this is something you have to put on your phone. Like, it's deep. But the reason why he's probably acting like that is because he probably never wants to get to the point where he's angry. And maybe because he's seen what he's seen of his dad, heard what he's heard about his dad, he's making sure that he doesn't go down the same path. And that's
more like calm down, I should say.
It's like looking at him growing up, it's like, I don't want to be that. Or it's just like, kind of not take the same kind of steps that he took. And try to figure my way around stuff.
For me, that's a mature route to take. It's just that in doing that, you can become numb and then you don't react to anything. And that becomes a problem. So, yeah, I mean, I appreciate the fact that obviously, you know what, I feel like he's subconsciously or consciously trying to input a change in his behavior, not to be like his dad. You know, one thing that really touched my heart was the fact that obviously, you know, I think he was holding a letter, and I think it was about his dad as well. The letter said something about, I can't come or whatever, da da da. And, you know, I can just see the pain in Keith's eyes. And one thing I've seen about Keith is that he may not mention that he's hurt. You know what I'm saying? He may not express openly that he's hurt. But I guess because maybe he's been let down so many times, as he said, you kind of get used to it in the sense of that you don't get your hopes too high up, but then when they are dashed, you're like, it's a bit painful, but you've already set yourself up for the fall. You already know what's going to happen. And that's sad. I mean, if you really look at it from a different perspective, that is really sad that you can't depend on your dad to do something as a dad should, like to meet your girlfriend, and yet and that must bring a pain. And I wanna you know, I always bring you the Bible when I talk about these things. So I wanna bring a situation that's from the Bible. There's a great king called King David, okay, who was leading Israel. This guy was he used to kill people by the thousands, the tens of thousands. Like, man, when he went to war, it would take 12,000 men to take this man out. You understand? This guy was legendary. But here's the thing. He had daddy issues. Deep daddy issues. To the point where obviously his daughter gets raped. And now you're probably thinking, okay, this guy's a warrior, he's a legend, he's a killer man with a sword. He's killed giants for fun. So when your daughter gets raped, what are you expecting from David? You're expecting a mad thing. But guess what he does? He becomes numb. You're looking at, why is David numb? And this starts from when a prophet comes to speak to his dad and says, I'm here to anoint a king. And the dad brings 7 sons, not including David. So David's out in the field. Then the prophet says, is that all your sons? And then the dad says, oh, yeah, there is one in the field. So you can imagine, your dad does not remember that he has another son. What kind of relationship would they have had? Not only that, when he went to war, when he went to the war front to even deliver food, his brother said, you're just here to look at the war. You're not here to do anything nice. So we can see the brothers don't like him, the dad don't like him. I won't say the dad don't like him, but the dad there's discord there. You understand? So it's crazy. Like, there would have been some daddy issues there. And so when I look at Keith, I see that a lot of men in this generation have daddy issues. And so when you're looking at a situation with him and Christine, and I'll come on to Christine's part in a second, towards the end of their argument, he says something. He goes...
Help where, though? Because I feel like I've been doing everything.
You've been doing everything.
And he repeated it twice. I noticed that he does this thing. It's like his conscious thing of kind of, I guess, contemplating on what's been said to him. But it's like the emotionlessness that he has is quite concerning, because it may look like you don't really care. I think he does care. I just feel like he's in the deep end, in a sense of he's treading water and is not sure how to actually bring an effective change. I think that's the problem. I think he's in a situation with this woman now where he's like, okay, I can see that, you know what, I need to wash dishes or I need to cook the food. But I don't know how. And I'm not talking about how to cook. I'm not how to change my behavior. And I think a lot of people are like this. They don't know how to change the behavior. They're not sure how to go about it. Do you know what I'm saying? That's another video. But I noticed that about him. And like I said, you know, that was a deep situation. But let me stick to that scenario where they were on the couch, okay? Because there are some things that we need to really unearth that I felt like the experts didn't unearth. But here we go. Christine, when they were sharing things that were close to them, and Christine shared about her ex, and the fact that, you know, he made more money than her and she was pampered.
Expected someone to cook all the time and clean all the time and have his kids right away. And it was the attitude of, I'm paying all the bills, so you do what I want. It's like a his way or the highway type of thing.
Lovely. Kind of was a side dick to your boyfriend, but cool. To your husband, sorry, but cool. You know, that obviously you had to cook, you had to clean. You wanted kids real quick. So that's 4 areas. Money, kids, cooking, cleaning, okay? There's 4 areas. You brought it up in conversation because that's what you wanted to bring up towards Keith. Now, can I be honest with you guys? Yeah? Let's be honest. When you're dealing with a pertaining issue already, one, you might want to finish off that first issue first before you move on to the second one. And it wasn't an issue in the beginning. What I'm saying is this. The number one thing that happened was this. They were talking about things that are close to them, their ex and everything like that. Bum, bum, bum. Then she brought up the ex intentionally to go into another conversation. Let me tell you something. Not just men and women. It's dangerous to do that. Because then it brings a comparison to the ex person. And then your partner is thinking about how you think you compare them to someone else. And then when comparison is a thief of joy. So what I'm saying to you is finish off that conversation first. You were talking about what happened in your past. Finish that conversation. Don't bring in that same conversation without ending that first conversation about what happens in the past. Because what happens is you mix and blend the conversation and then people misread what you're actually saying. Now, for me, I know what she's saying. She's saying this. I make more money than you. I cook. I clean, and you want kids early. Deep it. My ex was doing the exact same thing. I'm trying to warn you, I will not budge. I'm not doing that again. I'm strong-willed, as she said.
I'm a little too strong-willed for that type of personality, so.
As I'm telling
Say that. Cool. So it's important to know, and I told you guys this. This is what even annoys me. I told you guys this. Some of you guys will comment down below. I told you that, listen, it will get to a point where she will not be happy about what he is doing. Because her sister mentioned it, and now it makes sense. She mentioned something to her sister. Because her sister said something in the last episode, last 2 episodes I think it was, when they were sitting down having dinner, and he met the Christine's sister and the friends. And Christine's sister said, you know, it's hard when you have, you know, you're making the money, you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're having a kid. She mentioned all 4 areas. So deep it, they've had a conversation. Deep it, if it's already gone out of these walls, it's a concern for her. That's why it's gone outside of your 4 walls. So this is a very permanent issue. Not only that,
I do all the cooking, and even though he said he cleaned, I end up doing all that too. This is not why I got married.
Do you feel like everything's equal with me cooking and you cleaning?
when she asks that question, it's a leading question, meaning I know where I want to go with this conversation. I'm not open, I'm asking a question, but I know what I want you to say. I know what I'm trying to get out of this conversation, so I'm pushing a question which is angled. And we do it all the time as human beings. And so when you look at the situation, I don't want to go 9 minutes. When you look at the situation, when you look at the situation, and you, what I was going to say? Yeah, when you look at the situation, where did I go? Yeah, when you see the situation when she spoke about, is it fair? You know, Keith, again, this is what I keep saying about Keith. Indecisiveness. Is it fair? Yes and no. Brother, choose one.
Everything's equal with me cooking and you cleaning?
Yes and no.
I know he explained it, but choose one. This is all I'm talking about, how this indecisiveness is not cute. A double-minded man can't receive anything from the Lord because it's fam. You're on both sides. Choose a side. Is it fair? Yes or no? Now you're going yes and no. Okay, cool. Let's rock with the fact he gave yes and no. He said yes because obviously, you're cooking, I'm cleaning. He said no, and here's what I mean about Keith and not understanding emotional intelligence, 1, 2, also understanding that you don't do much, Keith. And if you don't be careful, you're going to force a person into an action you don't want to see. You're saying no because you had to wash more, you're washing too many dishes.
No on, it's like, it's so many dishes. I wasn't expecting so many dishes.
But you are eating the food. Are you mad or are you mad? How dare you? How dare you open your stinking mouth to say that? Yeah? I'm not insulting him, I'm saying. Because you have to deep this. She's earning more money than you. She's cooking. She's cleaning. And you're talking about a baby. You're meant to be cleaning. That's meant to be your area of expertise. Cleaning. And you're not doing that. She said she's cleaning after you've cleaned. Which means that what's actually happening. So the reason why she came to him with the anger that she felt. Because you have to deep it, yeah? Her energy changed.
I'm not cooking 3 meals a day. I'm not a housewife. You know what I mean? This isn't the 50s, you know?
I see that.
I'm not going to be like the breadwinner and then come home and still have to take care of home too. It doesn't make any sense. It's not even fair.
It's not the 1950s. And she said it with a punch in her tone. Like she was at the point of, I'm stressed. And even before that, her body language, she shifted her body language when they started having a conversation. That part of the conversation, she shifted her body, got comfortable in the chair to show that she's ready for war. We all do this and we subconsciously do this. We don't know why, we don't realize. But we do it. The shift of the body to get more comfortable. If you watch my Ready to Love reviews, I always talk about body language. She shifts her body to face him because she's ready to war.
Like, it's so many dishes. I wasn't expecting so many dishes.
And not ready to war in the sense of bashing, but she's ready to stand her ground, tell you this is my point of view, and it needs to change. Don't get twisted. This was not a, I'm not very happy about it. No, this is this needs to change. Otherwise, consequences. Yeah, when he obviously said no because, I washed too many dishes, her face completely dropped and changed. And I felt like she felt insulted. And I felt she felt like, you know what, the situation is so unfair. How are you telling me you're washing too many dishes, but I'm cooking 3 meals a day for you? Do you understand? And so in that moment when he said, no, I'm washing too many dishes, I need some help, he actually insulted her so differently that she now had to change her stance. She wasn't going to go straight to, well, look, we're going to change the roles now. I'm gonna clean and a bit more. You're going to cook a bit more. She wasn't going to have that. I think she would have been cool with cooking if he was pulling his weight, not just on the cleaning, but in terms of, look, I keep saying this, having a decisive plan that you know you're going to follow, that you know that say, listen, this is what I'm going to do. Having a vision with a plan. Not just having a dream, but a dream with a plan. That shows that you know where you're going. Then the person can submit themselves underneath where you think you're going. But I don't think he's presented that position so far. And so far, she's driving the relationship. So she's going to feel a little bit annoyed because she feels like she's doing everything. And she said it at the end of the conversation, I'm doing everything.
You've been doing everything.
I don't like a guy feeling like he has to say so.
And then he repeated, you're doing everything. Oh, you're doing everything. Okay, cool. He was a little bit hurt by that. Why was he a little bit hurt by that? Because he feels like he's putting his weight. He feels like he's putting his weight, but he's not realizing he's not. And the reason why he feels like he's putting his weight is because he's doing more than he would ever do in his mum's house. But unfortunately, this is not your mum's ass. Alright? This is your marriage. And you need to pull your weight. How long we got? Cool. You need to pull your weight.
I just wanted some help. I mean...
Help where, though? Because I feel like I've been doing everything.
You've been doing everything.
When also he then said, I'm trying to change your habits as well. You know, it's an underhanded punch, man. What do you mean you're trying to change my habits? Of what? Cooking too much because you wanted me to cook? Like, it doesn't make sense. You wanted me to cook. I've started cooking for you, and then you're using it against me. This is so dangerous. Without labeling it anything crazy, it's just simply the fact that you're inconsiderate. You know what I'm saying? And you're blind to seeing how this is affecting your partner. You're blind in the sense of that you don't realize that, hey, this person's doing this thing for me, and now I'm complaining. That's nonsense. Do you know what I'm saying? That's nonsense. Like, ladies and gentlemen, can I just put it this way? Look, you know, if you get into a relationship and you find yourself in a similar situation, you got to address it early. Don't let it fester. Someone said to me, practice makes permanent. Yeah? That's good or bad. So if you have good practices that you practice, it's going to be permanent. If you have bad practices and you practice them, they're going to be bad. So let the partner that you're in with straight away know, listen, I'm not going to lie to you, look, me cooking all the meal every day, I'm not really feeling it. I would love for us to have a little bit of a rota. Do you know what I'm saying? Early. Don't wait till you're in it 1 year and you're like, oh, I want this to change. No, it's permanent now. We need it to be done early. You understand? You're going to address it early. Once the cake is set, it's set. You know what I'm saying? It's set.